Hey guys, Justin with AmericanMuscle.com here with my detailed review and install of the Ford Performance by Borla Sport Catback Exhaust System, available for your 2015 and newer 3.5-liter EcoBoost powered F-150. This review is going to cover the sound impressions you can expect when using the Sport system by Ford Performance, also what you're going to be looking at as far as basic materials and the construction, and then finally we're going to breeze over the install here of the system itself. And on the surface, you're going to be looking at a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter with a small amount of cutting needed for some different bed and cab sizes, but I will have a little bit more detail on that later on. So the Ford Performance by Borla Sport Catback Exhaust System is going to appeal to the EcoBoost owners out there who have a decent amount of money to drop on a very aggressive system in regards to overall volume and tone, would like to go with the always popular dual split rear exit configuration, and then finally want one of the best systems in the category in regards to overall build quality and materials. But guys, this is an exhaust after all, so let's dive headfirst into our sound impressions here with the Sport system. And as you heard with our sound clips, the Sport is definitely going to be a very aggressive system. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going right to my wake to neighbor scale here, and honestly, I was kind of in between a 3 and a 4 for the longest time, but after further consideration, I'm going 4 out of 5 here with the Ford Performance by Borla Sport Catback. You're getting a bunch of volume, a good amount of tone here, and I also notice a good amount of turbo noise too coming down off the revs into idle. Now it's going to be a little louder in my opinion than the Corsa Sport, but not quite as loud as the Borla Attack Catback. If you do like everything about this system here, but you'd like to keep your EcoBoost as quiet as possible, check out the Borla Touring instead. It's going to give you a lot of the same characteristics and build quality, but it's going to be a very quiet system overall. So now that you have a better idea of what to expect as far as sound and overall volume with your EcoBoost, let's talk a little bit more about what this thing is made of. And obviously the Ford Performance and Borla systems share a lot in common, and that really is no coincidence because the Ford Performance stuff is after all made by Borla. So with that said, expect a premium made in the USA build. And when I say premium build here, of course I'm referring to the actual physical construction of the Sport itself, but also the materials used. Guys, you're getting premium 304 grade stainless steel here, the best material money can buy when it comes to aftermarket exhaust systems, short of titanium of course, but that's something you usually see with motorcycle systems or extremely high-end automotive stuff. Materials aside, you are going to find the Ford Performance by Borla Sport Muffler. It is straight through by design, also included a resonator here, and these two guys are going to work together in conjunction to form the Sport sound. Now you are getting 3-inch piping leading through both the muffler and the resonator here off the factory connection, but it does step down into 2¼ inch piping after that Ford Performance by Borla muffler before finally exiting out the rear of the truck. Again, this is the dual split rear exit config, and then you are looking at these dual 4-inch polished tips. These guys are kind of unique because they're actually more of a square shape by design. Really something I don't see a lot here with the truck systems, but it is pretty cool, is pretty unique overall. And Ford Performance, Borla stuff, they never skimp on quality, and that really is pretty apparent here when actually handling the Sport system in the shop. Of course, with that higher quality does come the higher price tag. That's nothing new or shocking to people that know or are familiar with Borla or Ford racing. In fact, you're going to be dropping right around $1,200 for the Sport system here, putting it in line with both Corsa and Borla systems. Now my one small gripe here with this system is that Ford Performance does make longer wheelbase truck owners buy an additional mid-pipe, and this is basically Super Crew owners with a 6.5-foot bed or Super Cab owners with an 8-foot bed. You need to buy an additional mid-pipe as Ford Performance calls it, and that's going to add roughly $90 to the price tag, something a lot of other systems will throw in, but not the case here with this system. And that does lead me to the install, and like I mentioned at the top of this video here guys, strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on my difficulty meter. There is a small amount of cutting needed here to get this guy in place depending on your cabin bed size. So along with that basic socket set, cordless impact or air gun, just make sure you have a Sawzall and a fresh metal blade ready to rock and roll. Other than that guys, everything is pretty self-explanatory. Of course, removing the factory catback, getting the new guy in place here, start from front to back, save all your final tighten up for the very end, and you should be making some noise in the garage or driveway in about an hour or 2 from start to finish. All right guys, in my final words here, I'd like to say that the Ford Performance by Borla Sport system is a great choice for EcoBoost owners out there who want a premium system in regards to both materials and construction, one that's going to deliver plenty of tone and volume, and then finally one that will deliver that very popular dual split rear exit configuration. So that's my review of the Ford Performance by Borla Catback, which you can find right here at AmericanMuscle.com.